You open a laptop at your kitchen table at 11 p.m., half a sandwich next to the keyboard, and you tell yourself this is just a side project. By the time you close it tonight, you will have made $43. 7 years from now, a decision you make in the next 10 minutes will be worth more than most people earn in a decade. You don't know that yet. You just know you're tired, and you're doing it anyway. You are a side hustler, and you're still clocking in somewhere else from 9 to 5. Your real income is $19 an hour from a job that has nothing to do with the thing that actually excites you. Your business, if you can call it that, brings in maybe $400 a month selling something small, digital templates, handmade goods, a tiny freelance service you post about online at 6 a.m. before your commute. Your routine is brutal and invisible. Work your day job, come home, answer 3 customer messages, edit a product photo, fall asleep with your phone in your hand. Your biggest responsibility is simply not quitting when nothing happens for weeks at a time. Your biggest challenge is time. You have none, and you're stealing it from sleep. But your biggest reward shows up the first time a stranger pays you for something you built with your own hands, alone, with no boss telling you to. Your lifestyle hasn't changed yet. You still live paycheck to paycheck. But something in you has changed, and that difference is about to compound in ways you can't yet picture, because the next version of you quits the day job entirely. You are a solopreneur now, and the safety net is gone. No salary, no benefits, no manager to blame when something breaks. Your income swings wildly. Some months you clear $2,000, some months $6,000, averaging out to roughly $48,000 a year, if you're lucky and consistent. Your daily routine is now entirely your own to build or destroy. Mornings for deep work, afternoons for client calls, evenings for the invoicing nobody warned you about. Your biggest responsibility is everything, literally. You are the marketer, the accountant, the product designer, and the janitor. Your biggest challenge is the isolation. There's no team to absorb a bad week, so every mistake lands directly on you. Your biggest reward is freedom that feels almost illegal. A Tuesday afternoon walk in the sun while everyone else is in a meeting. Your lifestyle shifts in a strange way, less money, security, but more control than you've ever had. And control, once you taste it, makes you hungry for more, which is exactly why you start hiring help before you're financially ready. You are a small business owner now, with your first employee on payroll and your stomach in knots every 2 weeks when payday arrives. Revenue has grown to around $200,000 a year, but after paying your 1 or 2 employees, covering software, rent on a small office or workshop, and taxes, you're taking home closer to $65,000, less than you expected. Honestly, your daily routine now includes something new and uncomfortable: managing people. You're training your first hire, reviewing their work, and discovering that delegation is harder than doing the task yourself. Your biggest responsibility has shifted from making the product to making payroll. On time, every time, no excuses. Your biggest challenge is trust, learning to let go of tasks you used to control completely. Your biggest reward is watching someone else execute your vision and do it well. Proof that you built something bigger than just yourself. Your lifestyle changes again. You work more hours, not fewer, because now you're responsible for other people's paychecks too. But this stage is where most people either break or break through, and you're about to find out which one you are. Because a client just offered you a contract 10 times larger than anything you've handled before. You are a growing company owner now, and that one contract changed everything. Your annual revenue has jumped to around $1.2 million, and you're finally paying yourself a real salary. About $110,000 a year, plus profit distributions that fluctuate with each quarter. Your daily routine has transformed almost completely. You're rarely doing the actual work anymore. Instead, you're in strategy meetings, reviewing financial reports, and interviewing candidates for roles you didn't even know your business needed, like an operations manager. Your biggest responsibility is no longer the product. It's the systems that let 8 to 12 employees produce that product without you. Your biggest challenge is letting go of your original craft entirely, which feels like grief. Honestly, even though it's necessary. Your biggest reward is seeing your company run for an entire week without a single message from you, and realizing it didn't fall apart. Your lifestyle upgrades meaningfully now. A nicer home, a car that isn't held together with hope, actual vacations where you're not checking email every hour. But success at this level attracts a very specific, very dangerous kind of opportunity, private investors who want in. And the decision you make next will either multiply your company or cost you control of it forever. You are a scaling CEO now, and you took the investment, opening 2 additional locations and expanding into a second product line. Revenue has exploded to nearly $6 million annually, and your personal compensation sits around $220,000, though a real chunk of your wealth now exists as equity you can't touch yet. Your daily routine is almost unrecognizable from where you started back-to-back leadership meetings, quarterly board reviews, and constant travel between locations that never seem to run exactly the way you want them to. Your biggest responsibility is now people, not just employees, but managers who manage employees, an entire layer of leadership you have to trust completely because you physically cannot be everywhere at once. Your biggest challenge is culture, keeping 40+ employees aligned with a vision you used to hold entirely in your own head is nothing like it was when it was just you and a laptop. Your biggest reward is financial security so real it's almost disorienting. The anxiety about money that defined your 20s is simply gone. Your lifestyle changes in a way you didn't expect, less daily freedom, actually, because now your calendar belongs to the company. But you're closer to the summit than you realize, and one acquisition offer is about to test whether you built this business to sell it or to become something even bigger. You are a 7-figure CEO now, and you turned the acquisition offer down. Your company generates $30 million in annual revenue, with your personal take home landing around $600,000 a year, alongside equity now worth 8 figures on paper. Your daily routine belongs almost entirely to vision and capital. You meet with your executive team, review expansion into new markets, and spend real time thinking about legacy. Something that would have sounded absurd to the version of you eating a sandwich at your kitchen table. Your biggest responsibility is the 200 families whose income depends on decisions you make in a boardroom, a weight that never fully leaves your shoulders no matter how big the numbers get. Your biggest challenge is complexity, legal structures, international regulations, and risk that could unravel everything overnight if you're careless. Your biggest reward is influence. You're now invited to speak, to mentor, to shape an entire industry rather than just compete in it. Your lifestyle transforms completely. Multiple properties, private schools for your kids, a level of comfort that no longer requires a second thought. And yet, standing at what looks like the top, you realize this was never actually the final level, because the next chapter isn't about one business anymore. You are a serial empire builder now, and this is the level nobody warned you existed when you were counting $43 at your kitchen table. You no longer run one company. You own significant stakes in 6 businesses across different industries. Some you built, some you acquired, all generating a combined revenue north of $200 million a year. Your personal net worth has crossed into 9 figures, and your annual income, between dividends, equity growth, and board compensation, exceeds $4 million. Your daily routine barely resembles work at all in the traditional sense. You review portfolios, mentor a handful of founders you've personally backed, and spend real time on the causes and ideas that matter to you, because you no longer have to chase revenue. Revenue chases you. Your biggest responsibility is stewardship, not survival. Thousands of employees across your businesses depend on decisions made by people you've trained to think the way you do. Your biggest challenge is purpose. Once money and security stop being the driving force, you have to find a reason to keep building at all. Your biggest reward is legacy, knowing that a version of you 7 years ago, exhausted and unsure, somehow built all of this from nothing but stubbornness and a laptop at a kitchen table. Your lifestyle is no longer measured in things you own, but in the freedom to do absolutely anything with your time, and the strange, quiet realization that the goal was never the money at all. It was becoming someone capable of building something that outlasts you. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. Every single level on this path was available to the version of you sitting at that kitchen table at 11 p.m. You didn't need permission funding or a perfect plan. You needed $43, a little stubbornness, and the willingness to still be doing it tomorrow. Wherever you are on this path right now, you're closer to the next level than you think. The only real difference between you and the next version of yourself is deciding to keep going.